Hey everybody, Nick here, and today we're going to do some disassembly and maintenance on this little guy right here. This is the CRKT Pilar in D2 steel. So, I'm sorry, this isn't in D2 steel. This is the Pilar Large, the Pilar, if you will. And I don't remember what steel this is. I think there is one in D2, but I want to say it's black coated. Either way, I'll figure that out by the review. But at the very least, this guy has a big issue right now, which is that the blade is touching the side there. However, there is also substantial play, so I'm hoping, beyond hope, that I will get everything dialed in as we do this. We will see. Alrighty, I'm seeing some T6 action here. Yep, that's some T6 action. Is the screw stripping out here? What are we doing? Is this free spinning? Okay, it's a Chicago-style screw, so whatever. Meaning that it's got a male end and a female end. And then this part needs to be screwed in. Where's my T8? Is this T8? Yeah, okay. Whoa there. Some serious thread locking that going on here. Some kind of gunk up in there. Ew. It's like chocolate frosting. Okay. Well, it's a nicely frosted knife. Whoa. Teflon. Okay, well, this is interesting. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Because, yeah, unless it's somebody's birthday and the baker forgot something, this is a, this needs some loving. All right, we'll start off by, of course, Teflon washes. Why not? Although, actually, the flipping action isn't so bad, so, you know, I can live with it, I suppose, if that's the only issue here. But I want to try and remove whatever elements of the frosting is going on up in here. And to do so, I will... come on. Get out of there. Ew. This was sent to me by my buddy Josh over at the Journeyman Junk blog. He very generously donated it, said, you know, hey, after you're done with it, go ahead and, you know, do a charitable thing, which is great. Win-win for me. And I get to check this guy out. But, so, you know, I can't guarantee that it came this way from the factory. Maybe he took on an internship at a bake shop or something. But, yeah. I see some very obvious signs of thermal damage at the edge of the blade here from grinding the lock. See this darkening there? So the heat treat's probably a little messed up there, and there is a really serious burr on the back of it, which I'm going to try and knock down with this sharpening stone here. Just to... I don't know that that should be an issue, and it's on the wrong side for it to really affect things too badly, but I'd just like to knock that down a little. There we go. Yeah, so that burr is now gone. Beautiful. All right, now I need to get up inside that pivot, and that's super necessary, what with all the frosting going on involved here. Pop that loose. All right, over here we have just a single chunk of G10. Let's clean all the frosting off the Teflon here. Okay. Hopefully that centering issue was not a, I'm wondering vaguely whether these Teflon washers are slightly differently sized. It almost feels like one of these is bigger. Hold on just a second. Let me get my calipers out. These should actually do it for me. So these are 0.8 millimeters for this one. And this is 0.7 millimeters. I don't know whether I can trust this measurement. This is not like a Michutoyu sort of an affair. But it does feel to me like one of these is thinner, actually. And that's disturbing. However, it is information, because if I put this guy back together and actually it turns out that one side is, it's favoring one side badly or something like that, that means that I'll just want to switch those washers around, and maybe that'll help. It's hacky, but it is what it is, I suppose. Did I clean the frosting off of this already? I did. All right, then let me defrost the pivot screw here, and then we will take it from there. All righty. Beautiful. Let's put everything back together. So, Teflon washers. What am I doing here? Crying, obviously. For Teflon, I'm going to go ahead and use some knife pivot lube. This stuff here works fine. Will this work here? Does this need to go on the other side? Let's pop this into the position here. No, it needs to go, it needs to be reassembled from this side up. Okay, whatever. Yeah, because that sits flush over here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of knife pivot lube here. The only reason I'm using knife pivot lube over nano oil is, A, it's a little cheaper, which is nice, but more importantly, it is slightly better for washer actions. So I'm putting the thick one on the show side for the moment, because coin flip, right? Could go either way. We'll see if everything goes back together okay. Failing that, I'll take it back apart again. I need to make sure, so you can see here there is a D shape to the pivot and there is a D shape to this side. And so I need to make sure that the D shape is properly aligned here. So I need to have it facing right down. Straight down, that is. So I'll do that. All right. Come on now. Pop that into there. This, I just finished working with the Cricut Provoke. CRKT Provoke, that is. And that was very well done. That was a beautifully made knife. I do not believe it to be the same factory that made this one. Yeah, this is back CRKT at their budget roots, shall we say. Construction here is not amazing to me. Or to anybody for that matter. All right. I don't know, maybe there's somebody with low enough standards to be amazed. Alrighty. Now I need to make sure that I have got everything popped together. The freaking stop pin needs to go into place. Come on, freaking stop pin. Go into place. There we go. Freaking stop pin's in place. That's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in the freaking pivot. And I'll use a little bit of Loctite here, pretending optimistically for a second that this is going to be the only time I unscrew this. This is my last disassembly of the day. Very often, usually on a Sunday morning, because these days I don't have time to film during the weeks. But I will try and do all of my disassemblies for the week ahead, because these allow me to carry things and actually, do the review. But I'll try and get all my disassemblies done in sort of one go. So this is my last one for the day, and I saved it for last because I suspected there may be a little frustration here. We will see. But very often, unfortunately, one of the things that makes an inexpensive knife inexpensive is the fact that it's, well, let's put it this way. There are very skilled assemblers who make these things go back together right. And I am very often, hashtag, not a brilliant disassembler. So, I need to be careful. All right, let's go ahead and put this back together. So now here's the big question. Well, two big questions, I suppose. One, what the heck am I doing with my life disassembling Cricuts? Okay, there's substantial blade play there. So that means I need to tighten this up. There remains some blade play there. That means I need to tighten this up further. There remains blade play. I don't believe I can tighten this up any further than I already have. So, the centering is dead on. that's good at least. And that makes me suspect that I have the proper orientation of the, those two washers. I wonder whether those two washers are either just poor tolerances, which is possible, or perhaps the other approach is that they are, the assembler tried to put them together with the same size washers and then realized, that's not happening, then, swapped out the uneven ones to try and basically salvage the knife for sale, which, at some level, I guess, is the eco-friendly thing to do. Look, there is still a little bit of blade play here. Now, I'm going to try and use a little bit more torque on this, on the pivot here, and see if I can get it maybe a little tiny bit tighter. There we go. Okay, so, but now it's favoring the, yeah. Now it is favoring the lock side a little bit. I suspect it will loosen up over time. Can I back this off a smidge? Just the slightest of smidges. Centering's still not great. Okay, still no play. Centering is actually pretty close to good to go. Just the tiniest hint of play. It seems like it's loosening itself, actually, a little bit. No play at all. And again, we're too tight. I'm going to loosen these two screws one more time, now that I got the pivot at the right tension, just to make sure there's no, like everything's in position. So once I loosen those, we're back a lot closer to centered. So what I'm going to do is, if it is over tight, then yeah, so I'll go ahead and crank these down one more time. Then I think I'm going to leave it, because I'm not sure I'm going to do much better. Yeah, unfortunately, once I crank those guys back into place, it's incorrect. But that's okay. So centering is okay. The knife is running acceptably. Actually, pretty decently, all told, for running on Teflon. And since considering it's loosening itself, at least it sure feels like it, well, I think the best approach here is just going to leave it be. Let the Loctite set before I mess around with it too much more. And then it may be that I have to do a disassembly later on. And if so, I probably won't film it, and I'll try swapping those washers around. But, I think this is actually working out okay. It's not perfect, but it's not, well, it should be. But it's, it's an inexpensive Cricut. What do you want? And, yeah, so there we go. Let's go on ahead and wrap things up from here. We have a good action. We have no blade play. We have centering-ish. And, yeah, everything else seems to be good to go. So, hope this has been interesting to you, and have yourselves just an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.